Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Baltimore Ravens. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Let's make these fans.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Check, pilot, 64, weak.
2nd and 10. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line. 60 outlaw. 6-man. Check cross.
On 1st down, it's Steele. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
60 Pittsburgh.
2nd and 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
Ready. 15, Ronnie. 59. General West. Big dip.
They'll run on 1st down. Wilkerson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. 2nd and 13. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Now, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Let's go now.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, 2.
Going to give this time to the tailback. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. He'll find Metcalf. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 12 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And an alley to run. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Kruger. And a quick throw here. That's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he can get a good head of steam going.
This will be caught by Brown. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed. He's got a man complete. Give him 32 on the play. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has 0 answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens 21.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 2nd down now. It's short. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect, and this remains a 13-0 game. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
4 down, 4 down. Watch the safety creep.
And he'll give it here to his running back. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is just going to gang up on the run and set them down.
Back to throw. Kruger, he's going deep for Brown. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a give right side. Wilkerson. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Hey, Charlie. Here I come again. Ready?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Go now. 91. We are. 56 to Mike. 56 to Mike.
To throw on third down. Weaver. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
Throwing on first down. Weaver. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
56. Mike, 56. Right there, 56. Watch that.
From the gun, Weaver. And that will be incomplete.
And what would the dive look that time on defense? Just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Check.
They'll try the left side. Crocker. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. The Ravens on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Kruger. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brock. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Devin Bush, the linebacker, was the one there in pass coverage. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. Kruger. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Touchdown, Vikings. DK Metcalf with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
That's fielded in the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Elsewhere, a score update from New Orleans. An early lead in that game for the Falcons. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Looking to throw. Kruger nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw. Kruger. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And defensively, Baltimore's in a dime look here on 3rd.
Hey, box truck.
50 seconds to mine. 50 seconds to mine. I can't believe they let you play.
Go.
Operating from the gun. Weaver. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
And no return on this one as that kicks out of bounds, so they'll start just outside of their own 30-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Looking to throw. Kruger looking left side, and it's complete.
They don't want it, fellas. They don't want it. Keep playing hard, fellas. All dirty. Woo! Let's get it.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Kruger. He sets to fire deep. And that is incomplete.
and attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start, here's another 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Wilkerson. Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 2nd down, it's short. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. From the gun on 3rd down, Weaver. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip.
And again this time to the tailback. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Hey, Haywood!
On 3rd down, Weaver. And he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Set up, 30 base.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7th. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And the pressure gets to him again.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Fielded at about the 28. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. On the NFL scoreboard, they are in the third now in New Orleans. And really pouring it on now are the Falcons. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Yeah, he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the Ravens' 44-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 46-yard line.
90 Wolf. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Now.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Kruger. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. This is taken at about the 14. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I
we
enjoy.
Share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number one for what we've seen this season.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is third down and 12. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. On second down now, Wilkerson. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. All runs on this drive so far. It's first and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Wilkerson. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
37-yard line.
And again this time to the tailback. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more.
Ravens, nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
To throw on second down, Kruger over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. A big play that time for the Ravens. And even 50 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10. Now they'll run on the draw. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Back to throw. Kruger got him in. It's Brown. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Ready? 10 logo. 60 miles. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. Go.
Off the bootleg. Kruger rolling to his right. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. 7 big yards on the carry there to get him within range of the goal line with 3rd down upcoming. This is 3rd and goal. Still looking for the first points of the... And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Greg Joseph on for the extra point. And the lead drops from 34 to 27.
Makes the score, Vikings 34, Ravens 7.
Now after the touchdown, it's Lachlan Edwards to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Vikings get over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They run on 1st down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Ready.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
Down. 70, Indy. Reflect.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for Minnesota, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11